here's the Husqvarna Model 55. I'm finally getting around to putting a bar and chain on it. It's a Pro Light series, just a cheapie. I was going to go for the original Husqvarna model, but this is the 510 124, so according to this, it fits the Model 55, so I'll find out, I guess, in a few minutes once I start putting it on. So anyway, this is the Byrne chain that used to be on this saw, which was way too small for it. Someone also painted it for some odd reason. You can see the two colors of paint here. Physically painted over it for some odd reason. Well, I thought I had a spare 3/8 sprocket, but I don't. So I'm going to have to go out, buy a 3/8 sprocket. Kind of sucks. Still raining. Tomorrow being Monday, I'm not sure what's open. Also going to put a new bearing in here while I'm at it. This one here is pretty well getting to the point that it has to be changed. As to how to remove these, I just simply use an impact gun. For reassembling, I always shove something in the cylinder and keep slack on the recoil rope until it's tight, otherwise you'll snap off your recoil rope. And no, that's not how that happened. That's not how it happened. So anyway, make sure you're spinning in the right direction. These are reversed threads. How am I going to do this now with my camera here? I really have no idea. No, I got an idea. Oh, alright, well. They always come off fairly easy. Never had any issues ever with one. So basically, yeah, that bearing's a little tight. You got that, you got your bearing, you got your back washer. Main thing you want to always do is make sure your crank is nice and tight here, which this one here is. You can check it the best once you got your clutch removed, so make sure there's no up and down play. I already had this clutch off before, so I know it's good. I never bothered cleaning it before, but as you can see, it really needs to be cleaned. Clutch spring still nice and tight, doesn't need to be changed. If they're sloppy or loose, you need to change them, otherwise you will spin on idle your chain. That bearing needs to be changed. And this is the main reason why I pulled it off, because I always want to bring the old one to match it up. So I'm going to be upgrading to a 3/8 so I can run the new chain and bar. Thought I actually had a spare one because I know somewhere I went and bought one for this. I actually ordered a set of them off eBay so I can run almost any kind of chain on it. But for some reason I can't find it, so I'll go spend whatever it is and buy another one. I think the last one I paid was like $8 or something like that. So anyway, clean it up a bit, clean up my clutch. I usually just wash them in gas or in the parts washer. In this case, parts washer is buried. It's that sucker right there, so I'll just put a little dish full of gas, clean it in that. I do got brake clean, but it'd take too much. Okay, so just got back from the parts store, picked up myself a new sprocket. Sprocket itself was like $10. So getting ready to put that back on. Didn't replace the bearing, had a little bit more of a look at it. It's not that bad, shouldn't have to do that yet. They never had it in stock for some odd reason, even though I know it's only like a $5 to $10 bearing. Anyway, gotta still clean this up a little bit, as you can see. Now I see mixed reviews of what to use on your bearing, and like not of course on your anywhere around here, but what to use on your splines here internally. I usually use a tad of Never Seas. I see some people that use grease and some people that leave them dry. So in my case, I'm going to use just a tiny bit of Never Seas. So just thought I'd kind of throw that in the video, just for the hell of it. And just like I thought, my knot just pulled through. Looks for some reason like there's only a single knot there. Normally I tie a few. Anyway, this was a new recoil that I recently put on it. So. And it's pouring rain again. I swear the rain is never going to, like, go away. Anyway, I just put on my recoil here, redid my rope on it. That's all set up good. Put it back on my cover, just got to put on the Byrne chain and it should be good to go. Yep, that 20-inch Byrne chain looks at home on this saw. Much better than the old, I guess, 14-inch the guy had on it. The old owner. So, anyway, all I gotta do now is tighten it up. Well, put on my cover there. and she should be good to go. And of course, spark her up for the first time in a long time, make sure she runs. Do a couple test cuts, because again, I'm going over to my grandma's to cut down a huge tree, which is probably like 30 inches wide. This is only a 20-inch bar, but I wanted to buy a 24-inch or even a 28-inch bar, but a guy kind of didn't really recommend it for this machine, and this is the only one they had in stock. Anyway, give her a little bit of sparking test here. Doing that just to prime it. Ooh, almost. Choke off. Idle still up. Well, anyway, it's done, ready to go. I do have to just turn down the idle because the chain still spins. So of course the idle is way too high. You can hear it. I kind of knew that from before. But anyway, it's out of gas. I drained the gas out, and there happened to be a little bit left in the carb to start it up for a few seconds. But my camera had a dead battery. It died. So when I went back to grab the camera, I seen it was dead. So I just went out in the rain, found my jerry can with mix, soaked myself completely. Well, actually, it's pretty well drying now. The rain actually is now stopping. Yes, that's considered stopping. So you can see it's pretty well drenched out here. Way worse than this a few minutes ago. Normally it builds up with quite a bit of water around there. So underneath the deck there you can see it's filled right up, and that's like a 6-inch to a 8-inch hole underneath there. Anyway, that's all. I'm going to have to just do adjustment on the carb, a little bit of fine tweaking, but that I'm going to do when I actually get out there. Okay, so anyway, rain finally stopped. It's actually nice out right now. Just gave it a little bit of a test, ran it for a while. Seems to be good. Did a little bit of carb tweaking, not much, just a little bit. Give it a little bit of a start here. Everything seems to be good on it. Okay, a few other little things that I need to do to it. The compression release knob is broken here, missing. I don't use it anyway, so it's not too big of a deal, but for resale value, I know that would help. The fuel tank vent, which is this hole right here, is seeping, so it needs a new fuel tank vent. They're about 15 bucks. You just put in a wood screw, pull them out. Done one before. Not going to put any chain oil in it yet, so because I don't want to make a mess. But I have about 10 minutes of running time. Everything seems to be great. Guess it's ready to go. So, okay, and here's one of my other ones. It's one of the only saws I ever bought brand new. It's an Echo model CS310. It has a 30.5 cc engine, so very small. That one's like 55 or so, 57, something like that. So anyway, this one here has a fair bit of use. I'm not going to say I went overkill with it, but use this one more or less for on the quad for cleaning trails, stuff like that. I'm not going to say it has much use. It maybe has 5 tanks of gas through it, so has been banged around quite a bit in the back of the quad. So anyway, going to bring it outside, give it a quick cleaning with the garden hose, and I guess put some fuel in it and spark it up for the first time this year. Okay, so I just gave it a quick bath. It's still wet. Now this one I drained right out of gas. I mean, completely empty. So it's going to take a while. Oh, starting. Oh, there you go. Now I got some gas going in the primer. So give it about 3 primes. Give it a couple more primes. And this one floods easy. Take off the choke, but leave on the throttle lock. I'm just going to leave her idling now so she dries up internally from washing it, and that's about it. And then I got to sharpen the chain. Okay, so let her run there after for about 5-10 minutes. Got to adjust the chain because it's really loose. And I got my diamond file. I just do them by hand. I don't use any guides or anything like that. So I know it's not the best way to do it, but it makes them cut. So anyway, I'll sharpen up that chain and then it's good to go. I ran it for a while, made sure the oil pump's working, and yep, it's working. Lots of oil coming out of that sucker. So that one I never put oil in it yet, so because I don't want to make a mess, because I know the oil system works on it because I already tested it. And there we go, freshly sharpened like a razor and ready to go. And I always put a paint mark on the chain, just showing that it is recently sharpened. Well, got both saws in the truck and off to cut a tree. Bad thing is, it was just raining this morning pretty good again, but it stopped now, so it's going to suck. Okay, so I just went and gave the Husqvarna a little bit of a test. Only 1 tank of gas out of it, cut quite a few big stumps, logs. Probably about right up to the tip here, so just long enough. Worked great. Need to up the oil going to the chain because the chain ran a little bit dry, a little bit loose, but that's normal when they break in. Other than that, the Echo there ran great, but still this saw here, even with the 20-inch, like to get something with a little bit more power, so I guess I'll start working on this one here. It's 064. Can't remember, I think this model is, I think it's like 70 or 80 cc, so there's a 28-inch Byrne Chain and an 18-inch, so I'll start working on that one next. So anyway, sweet.